Deanni started at 275 pounds. Low energy, her joints always hurt and she was in pain. She was very self-conscious about her appearance, which resulted in low self-esteem. She struggled losing weight and she had attended many weight loss clinics and would achieve small victories in a short period of time, but then she would decline and gain that weight back. And then times she would gain additional weight on top of that. Deanni, over a period of 8 months, trained regularly and committed to her workouts and the time she spent with her trainer. Over a period of 8 months, she lost 115 pounds. Deanni's self-esteem and confidence grew over the 8 months. She learned quickly that her effort equaled her reward, and her reward was the weight lost on the scale. I had the pleasure of working with her over those 8 months, and I worked with her and I saw how she carried herself when she walked into a room and in through the gym, observing that her confidence and her self-esteem grew as the numbers on the scale changed. Regarding Deanni, she achieved some great things. And this video is for anybody who is stuck losing weight, has tried other ways to get in shape or experience weight loss, and it's either backfired or you've just relapsed and gained that weight back. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, what things to watch out for that will improve your chances of being consistent, how to actually flip your lifestyle and ensure that the way that you function keeps you where you want to be. So meet Deanni Daher. Honestly, one of the biggest transformations that we've had, one of the many big transformations that we've had, and just an all-around one of my favorite stories just to talk about and tell. Especially the clients that are kind of in the similar boat that she was in. Before the transformation, she had tried a lot of different things. We're going to get into exactly what she tried and where she was stuck. And her starting weight was 275. So she came to us and she basically had tried everything to lose weight. She essentially, wasn't someone who gave up easily, but the thing is every time she tried something, she would get your typical results. She would lose a little bit, tiny bit of weight, 5-10 pounds, drop 7, and then gain that 5-10 back or even more. And that's what kind of starts to kill your motivation, really slow you down, really break down your mentality of wanting to change and wanting to better yourself. And for her, she went to multiple weight loss clinics. She never saw lasting results. She tried the restrictive dieting, which, from a scientific standpoint, it's going to slow your metabolism. It's going to do the opposite of what you're looking for. Inconsistent plans with no personalization. Like she had some trainers that just, threw her cookie cutter plans. One of the trainers, she actually was talking to another client and saw her journal, and it was the exact same plan that the client was doing. And the client was nowhere near her current situation. So, that obviously kind of messed with her mentally and physically, obviously. Temporary fixes created long-term damage. Like she's tried some supplements that, like fat burners and stuff like that, it messed up her sleep and she felt terrible, weeks after doing that, after taking it consistently. So, years of weight loss and yo-yo dieting and, weight loss, and we regain, it just led her to a place where she felt hopeless before coming to us. And even when she came to us, obviously she said she felt hopeless, but she wasn't at all convinced that we would be able to help her. But because it was a referral, she came anyways. So when she came to us, we built her a complete system that would take care of absolutely everything, right? No generic programs, no temporary fixes. Every element of it needed to be personalized so she could get the results that she was looking for. And I've highlighted some things here, like the training for her in the beginning, especially the first 90 days. We updated her training every 2.5 weeks to maybe 3 weeks, just to keep her body, guessing and progressing rather quickly. And again, the intensity was never crazy high. You can't start off there. You only get bigger, stronger, leaner, whatever your goal is when you recover. So you can't kill yourself. So, we progressed her safely. The nutrition was tailored to her body, her metabolism, no generic meal plans. Like we put in it what she likes. Like she likes ice cream. Obviously, we're not going to put like Haagen-Dazs ice cream in her meal plan. So, our culinary nutritionist came up with a version that was healthy, super high in protein, low in calories, and that actually helped her lose weight. She had that in her plan.
Supplementation, obviously designed for the hormones and the full body detoxification. When you lose 115 pounds, like when you lose any fat, your body releases a lot of toxins in the system. So you have to be combating that with supplements and giving your body things that eating a healthy diet and regular food, won't be able to do for you. You've got to supplement. So we did that as well. The mindset and reframing, the techniques to push her through low moments and setbacks, that's huge. Like we've got a psychologist on our staff, and like without the mindset being correct, you can't get any results that you're looking for. So, we helped her with that, and she was grateful, and it was a massive difference. And obviously, internal health strategies to improve her body function from the inside out. Like I said, like regarding the hormones, regarding the supplements, like everything's got to be working together to get your results. We put one of her quotes in here, and it was just something that touched us very deeply when she said this. She says, there were highs and lows and moments where motivation was challenged, where progress slowed, and the mental resilience became everything to her gaining, the success that she had with her training and her weight loss. And that's just what it comes down to. Like without the right mindset, you can't keep yourself going. You can't keep yourself on the right path. You can't follow, the system the way it's meant to be followed. If you don't have the right mindset. So every piece of the puzzle is important. With the mental coaching component, specifically with MPC, it's not optional. All of our clients use it, and it's needed. There's a difference between quitting and continuing, is what we wrote there, and that's essentially what it is. Like, there's a lot of things over the time, the failed attempts and things that you've been through before you come to us that are going to kind of be piled up there. So as we're going through your transformation and running you through the program, we've got to break down those mental barriers and walls and kind of reframe the situation from where you were before. So when things happen, it's not just easy to quit, and you don't lose all motivation to keep going forward. And I kind of broke down how typically it goes through the program from mental to physical here. So body detox protocols, initial training, building the foundation. This is where we get you structurally sound. Make sure both of the sides of the body are functioning properly. If you're structurally sound, you can automatically lift more, so you're stronger and you feel better, and you won't get injured. And then, month 3 to 4, this is your metabolic adaptation. Your nutrition's dialed in. We're dialing in your supplements, changing a few things. Your energy feels better. Month 5 to 6, between 5 and 6, mental coaching intensifies, overcoming plateaus, staying the course. We find that this happens here because we're almost where we want to be, or in this case for Deanni, she was almost where she needed to be. And this is where we actually had to get a little more intense with her training. We turned her from somebody who was, morbidly obese and not where she wanted to be, to somebody who became an athlete, essentially. Like she looked amazing, felt amazing, was moving amazing. So to get that last little bit of weight loss that she was looking for, we actually had to really kick up the intensity. Month 7 to 8, full momentum. She lost 115 pounds total. Her body was rebuilt from the inside and out. She was functioning better, feeling better. Her mind frame was better. Her mental state was better. How she dealt with food, how she dealt with, just things that, were pitfalls for her before were eradicated. It was completely different. She was a different person. So she went, from 275 down to 160, lost 115 pounds total in an 8-month duration, which is not that long, especially when you don't have an athletic background, especially when, you haven't really been active for many, many years prior to coming on with us. Our thing is, Deanni just didn't lose weight. She rebuilt her body from the inside and out. So if you guys are ready to transform, there's a couple of my other clients there. We've got 100 more of these women that, have probably been in the same scenario that you guys are in, or similar. You could definitely book a call with us. Hit the button below, and there'll be a Calendly link, and we can chat and just see if we can help you.